Donald Trump Jr., who was in court again this morning. There he is. You hear the protesters chanting, crime family, and that is basically what these people are, a crime family, a very dumb crime family, the Gambozos, if you will, and I mean, that son of a bitch, you know, is really unbelievable.
Mr. Son of a bitch.
I mean,
Mr. Son of a bitch.
His loyal. Yes, yeah, no, I never imagined that we'd ever have a president like this, and I hope we don't ever have another president like this again.
What in the world did I just witness? Donald Trump gave one of the most bizarre and deranged speeches in the White House yet. This was for a Hanukkah party at the White House. Donald Trump started just making noises, bing, bang, bing, bang. Here first, let's play this.
But I watched him go bing, bing. He went bing, bing, and two massive 100,000-pound bombs.
Next, he talks about his golden ballroom, and it's $400 million, and it's going to be such a grand ballroom. It's going to be impenetrable glass, he says, because
you know what's better than one viral clip of Jimmy Kimmel torching Donald Trump Jr. on live TV? Years of it. A steady stream of sharp, relentless takedowns that have turned Don Jr. into a running joke on one of the biggest late-night shows in America. And the evidence is everywhere. Let's be clear from the start. This isn't about a single moment. It's dozens. Not a highlight reel, but a long-form record of comedic demolition. The wild part? Don Jr. keeps setting himself up again and again, handing Kimmel new material like it's his side job.
Right now than Trump's most disappointing son.
And guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Trump already beat Stormy Daniels in court? Like, in all fairness, like, isn't she like paying his legal bills or something like that? I don't know.
His hands move faster than his brain. They're like, I mean, what is it? It's like if Jim Henson had no puppets. How you doing over there? I'm doing real good. The important thing for DJ TJ isn't necessarily defending his father in the Trump family. What's most important is this.
The other thing that you should be watching is the insanity going on in the market right now. So I want to make sure that I take the time to tell you about another one of our great sponsors.
Words coming out of his mouth about his golden ballroom. Play this clip.
I think it'll be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. But I said, who else but in our country would sue to stop a $400 million beautiful ballroom that people have been after for the White House? The White House has wanted a ballroom for 150 years.
Again, I just want you to take a step back for a second, right? While he's doing this and bragging about his golden ballroom, unemployment ticked up to 4.6% today. Manufacturing seems all but in a recession right now. We're in a hiring recession in general right now. The only area where there's actual job growth is education and healthcare, two areas that are under vicious attack by the MAGA Republicans.
So let's walk through how Jimmy Kimmel systematically reduced the Trump family's eldest son from political figure to national punchline. Once you see the pattern, it's obvious this goes beyond jokes. It's comedy used as a scalpel, exposing hypocrisy, privilege, and a constant hunger for relevance. We'll start with one of the harshest one-liners late night has delivered. November 2025. Democrats had just swept major elections nationwide. Trump's endorsements were collapsing. Everything he touched politically was falling apart. Kimmel covered the results and dropped this line.
Up by 16 points. I'm at +3. He's at -13. It's nice, but it feels like, considering the fact that I'm not a convicted felon friend of Jeffrey Epstein, and I've never paid off a star or sent a team of masked goons into a park to pull an old lady away from her grandchildren, I feel like my rating should be higher, maybe, than...
Someone, by the way, who, if he was a king, probably would just reopen the government, but it hasn't worked that way. If he was a king, he probably would have never left the office the first time. If he was a king, he wouldn't allow his government to prosecute and persecute him.
This is what the American people are thinking about now. What the hell is he talking about? Here, play this clip.
For 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom. and we're giving them, myself and donors are giving them free of charge for nothing. We're donating a building that's approximately 400 million. I think I'll do it for less, but it's 400. I should do it for less. I will do it for less. But just in case I say 400, otherwise if I go $3 over, the press will say it costs more. I built under budget and ahead of schedule, right, Jason? Always.
A clean kill. Trump hasn't been this embarrassed since he found out there was a Donald Trump Jr. Say it again. Trump hasn't been this embarrassed since he found out there was a Donald Trump Jr. That's not just a joke. That's a direct hit on someone's entire existence. Kimmel told millions of viewers that Don Jr.'s very presence is a source of shame for his father. What makes it brutal is that it lands because anyone who's watched their dynamic knows there's truth hiding inside the punchline.
He was not at Daddy Donald's last night. The prodigal son was being grilled as part of the $250 million case against their business. There he is, tiny soprano. I wonder what's going through his head right now.
I should have worn makeup.
Oh, yeah, good one. Here's the thing about Don Jr. What he lacks in intelligence, he also lacks in charisma. So, and as with all cases involving the family Trump, DJ TJ was sworn in on an upside-down Bible. He will finish his testimony tomorrow, and then Eric will testify, and then Trump will claim he's never met either one of them. But it's getting serious. There's even some worry Don Jr. could be tried as an adult in this one. Trump was not there in person to support his sons. He had a Halloween party.
They're anti-Semitic. Here, play this clip.
That's no longer true. You have to be very careful. You have a Congress in particular, which is becoming anti-Semitic. You have AOC +3. You have those people, Ilhan Omar. She hates Jewish people. And you have to be very careful because there's been a big change. You know, if you go back 15 years ago, I'm not Jewish, but my father was very friendly with many, many Jewish people, was honored by Federation. I would go with him to Federation of Jewish Philanthropies and many other things.
Then there's more discussion, if you want to even call it more.
Don Jr. has spent his whole life chasing approval from a father who clearly doesn't see him as first-rate. Kimmel just said the quiet part out loud on national television. That's the kind of line that lingers, the kind that pops into your head at 3 in the morning when everything's quiet. If you like seeing powerful people held accountable through comedy, hit the like button. It helps more people see this, and we're only warming up. Let's rewind to September 2025.
This most recent video, I noticed something that I want you to take a look at.
We've seen the insanity of what's going on in the last few years, and we're just here to call that out.
Okay, now zoom in if you can, because he's got 2 empty frames on his set. Those are pictures of his friends. He's showing off all the fun times he had with Dad when he was a kid.
He brings up Miriam Adelson, the billionaire who gave him $250 million in the last election. And she says that Alan Dershowitz is here. Dershowitz, who got the massages with Epstein, but says his underwear was on the whole time. Epstein lawyer, Trump's lawyer. And then she says, I'll give you $250 million, Donald, to run again in 2028. And then people start chanting. What am I even watching right now? Here, play this clip.
And now I met Alan Dershowitz, and he said the legal thing about 4 more years. And I said, Alan, I agree with you. So we can do it.
This is where Kimmel really went for the throat. Trump had one of his usual social media meltdowns, this time over Cracker Barrel changing its logo. The MAGA internet lost its mind over a restaurant redesign. Trump even posted an AI video of himself dancing with the Cracker Barrel mascot. Peak performative outrage. Then Don Jr. jumped in, tweeting, "What the F is wrong with Cracker Barrel?" as if he's some everyday diner regular. Kimmel saw that and pounced immediately.
The only thing that would make it worse is if somebody changed the lyrics to a song by his beloved Village People to drive it home.
Taco, taco man. I want to be a taco man. Taco, taco man. Yeah. I've got to be a taco. Taco, taco.
This could be the new YMCA. They can play it at rallies. You can do TACO. Right?
So therefore, I like him. Here, play this clip.
And much more importantly, his much more brilliant wife. Where are you? There you are. Would you come on up here, both of you? Get up here. Get up here. Look, every Saturday, every Sunday, I'm forced to watch television to listen to this guy talk about how freaking great I am. Because he does like Trump. There's no question about it.
Then Donald Trump goes into a racist, xenophobic, and hateful attack against AOC and other Congress members and says, you have to be vigilant. You have to be careful.
Here's what Kimmel said, almost word for word. Even cosplay grits gobbler, New York prep school Nepo baby Don Jr. whined, WTF is wrong with Cracker Barrel, as if he's ever been to a Cracker Barrel. That sentence does a lot of work. Cosplay grits gobbler calls out the fake Down Home Act, the Manhattan penthouse pretending to be folksy. New York prep school Nepo baby strips away the myth of being self-made. This isn't a man of the people, it's privilege, inherited and unearned.
Gwen Walt, bye-bye Donald Trump. You know, it goes on and on. There's a list. We just put it out on X. All of these high-powered Democrat officials, the people that, we got to tone down the rhetoric. They're the ones doing all the rhetoric, Carl. But it's typical Democrat projection, okay? They accuse everyone else of doing the things that they're doing. They scream and yell just like they've been talking about democracy and calling everyone they don't like a fascist, while censoring, jailing their political opponents, and so on and so forth.
Imagine telling somebody that your money is tied up in Don Jr. gold, right? They'd put you in a mental hospital.
Think about it. Maybe I will be first time of turn you or second. Yeah.
She said, think about it. I'll give you another 250.
I will be.
But her husband, Sheldon, was an amazing guy.
Then Donald Trump says that he's done so much for Israel that he has to read it. Look, I have pages, he says. I have pages. Then he just starts pulling out pages. Play this clip.
Happy Hanukkah. And this is the first time that I've ever brought up notes to make a speech for. We call them the Christmas dinners. I call them the Christmas Hanukkah dinners, if that's okay. I hope you don't mind.
Born on third base and convinced he hit a triple. And then the closer, as if he's ever been to a Cracker Barrel. That's the whole scam. Hunting gear, gun photos, football tweets, Americana cosplay, all wrapped around one of the most elite, insulated lives imaginable. Kimmel ripped the costume off on national TV, and he wasn't done. He kept going on the Cracker Barrel outrage itself.
How you doing over there? I'm doing real good. The important thing for DJ TJ isn't necessarily defending his father and the Trump family. What's most important is this.
The other thing that you should be watching is the insanity going on in the market right now. So I want to make sure that I take the time to tell you about another one of our great sponsors, Goldco. Go to donjuniorgold.com to learn more. That's donjuniorgold.com.
Don Jr. Gold. It ain't real gold unless it's Don Jr. Gold.
When somebody can give you $250 million, I think that we should give her the opportunity to say hello. And Miriam, make it quick, because $250 million is not what it used to be. Okay? Hello, darling. Come on. Incredible woman with a great husband, a man that loved Israel.
Then Donald Trump said the reason he likes Mark Levin, that's how Mark Levin talks. The reason he likes Mark Levin is that every Saturday and Sunday I watch him and he says how much he loves me.
He mocked it as Amish Applebee's and Applebee's B-, clearly baffled by the fake fury. But the Don Jr. line was the one that stuck, the one that probably made someone quietly show him the clip while he stared at the floor. Now, jump to November 2024, just after the election. Trump was rolling out his tariff plans. Economists everywhere were calling it economic suicide. A 25% tax on imports from Mexico and Canada, another 10% on China. prices for American consumers would have exploded.
As upset as his fellow Republicans pretend to be, no one is more perturbed right now than Trump's most disappointing son.
And guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Trump already beat Stormy Daniels in court? Like, in all fairness, like, isn't she like paying his legal bills or something like that? I don't know.
His hands move faster than his brain. They're like, I mean, what is it? It's like if Jim Henson had no puppets.
I call them New Year's dinners too, but I've made about 20 of them so far. I never had any others. I brought this up. You know why? I've done so much for Israel that I have to read. Look at it. I got like pages. And I don't want to leave anything out. I don't want to leave Golan Heights out. I want to tell you what we did. But it's an honor to help. You have so many friends, and a lot of you are right in this audience.
Then he has Mark Levin, the Fox host. Mark Levin then shows up, and Levin's like, yes, we have the first Jewish president. Donald Trump is Jewish.
Kimmel covered the plan and pointed out that nearly everyone who understands basic economics thinks it's a terrible idea. Then he paused and said it. Some say this is the dumbest thing he's come up with since Don Jr. There it is again. Don Jr. as shorthand. Don Jr. as the benchmark for bad decisions. Kimmel isn't even centering the joke on him anymore. He's just the reference everyone instantly understands.
We're learning much more about the orange goblin, Donald Trump, and what went down, or more accurately, did not go down on January 6th. You may remember for 3 hours, Trump just hung out saying nothing while a violent crowd attacked the Capitol. He was watching from the White House, soaking it all in. So Liz Cheney...
He's not going to stop. He's going to keep fighting. The same resolve that he had in Butler, Pennsylvania, when he came back defiant after getting shot in the face.
Donald Trump brags about all the money that Miriam Adelson gave, $250 million. And one of the things that Miriam Adelson really wanted was the embassy to be moved in Israel, the U.S. embassy to Jerusalem. And that was a big push of hers. And here's what Donald Trump said. Here, play this clip.
From day one, but I think it's okay if we ask Miriam Adelson. Do you want to come up here? Come up here, Miriam. Miriam gave my campaign indirectly and directly $250 million. She was number one.
This was never about one viral clip. It's about building a permanent record, peeling back the carefully managed image to show the insecure, privileged, approval-hungry person underneath. And it's working. When people hear Don Jr.'s name now, they think of the jokes. Cosplay Grits Gobbler, the dumbest thing since Don Jr., the embarrassment line. That's the real power of consistent, well-aimed mockery. It doesn't just hurt once, it defines someone.
I'm supposed to rely on a big five accounting firm, like one of the biggest accounting firms in the world. I can pay them millions of dollars. I rely on them to do accounting, but I'm supposed to know more than them. By this logic, insurance companies are going to start suing patients for listening to their doctors. Right? You understand? Like, am I supposed to know more? Oh, Don Jr. doesn't know anything about it. I'm not an accountant. I'm a business guy.
I'm a business guy who had his elbows soldered together, and now...
Did you know today that the Coast Guard actually implemented its plan to allow swastikas, implemented its plan to allow Confederate flags and nooses? Remember when that was reported and then Trump's regime said fake news, and then they said, no, it's true, but we're not doing it. No, swastikas, Coast Guard, while they're doing this Hanukkah party, pisses me off. Here, play this clip.
6 years ago, I was up here, and I said, this is our first Jewish president. Now he's the first Jewish president to serve two not consecutive presidencies. We thank you for everything.
Yes, sir. Bad things happened on the second one. Namely, the election was rigged. And we found out, and you see that happening. But
and you are the greatest president.
Thank you very much.
And God bless you.
And Jimmy Kimmel has been doing exactly that to Donald Trump Jr. for years. One perfectly aimed roast at a time. So the real question isn't whether Kimmel destroyed Don Jr. on live TV. it's when Don Jr. will realize what's happening and stop feeding him material. Based on the pattern so far, probably never, which means more jokes, more roasts, more moments of Kimmel holding up a mirror and letting America see Don Jr. clearly. And honestly, that's something people are more than happy to watch.